Deterioration is real, expensive, and unrelenting. Board members are responsible to manage this ongoing problem on behalf of all the homeowners, keeping their homes well maintained and safe while maximizing owner enjoyment and property values. That's a stiff challenge. Fortunately, help is available in the form of reserve study professionals, skilled in guiding their clients down the path towards a safe and secure future. They know the trail, the landmarks, and the obstacles along the way. In this introductory portion of our Navigating Reserve Planning webinar, we explain what you need to know, setting you up to be in a position to learn from the actual case study examples to follow in the other portions of this webinar. So, welcome to our program today called Navigating Reserve Planning. You always learn more when you see lessons applied, so rather than a lecture about what we want to teach you, we're going to look at what I thought were three interesting scenarios and make those some learning opportunities. This is the agenda that we're going to follow in today's program. And of course, it has to start with, what's the problem? What are we trying to accomplish here? And so I want to make it clear that Mother Nature and Father Time are ravaging your association on a daily basis, trying to take it down to the ground. And they are unrelenting. So they are doing things like you see here. These are photos from site inspections. On the left, roof that's aging, fences that are falling apart, asphalt and drains that are deteriorating, things that people do. This might be where kids were throwing baseballs or lacrosse balls or other things. It may be mold or mildew or other associations. This is one. Clearly you can see with the palm trees in the background in a warm environment, but deteriorated roof, beat up tile front entryway. It's cracking along the line, so there's something structural going on. Just the deterioration on a balcony here that you see, the staining, just the unsightliness. And this is a front door landing area. Right behind me, taking this picture, is the pool. So it's a pool deck that's delaminating. So this happens throughout the country. All of our clients, you're facing ongoing deterioration. And then not just that, but we came to June 24th of 2021. We woke up to the news that Champlain Towers South had collapsed. It took 98 lives, we learned, in that tragic collapse. And all of a sudden, underfunding reserves was much more than just a delaminating pool deck or a leaky roof or minor things like that, a battered up set of siding. So what we have here is a situation where the board is legally responsible as the officers to manage the affairs of the association on behalf of all the other owners. And so that's their role. The manager is there to help, but they're there, they don't have the power. They're there to assist, coach, comfort, console sometimes, advise, but they're in the role of someone who's recommending. A point I want to make is that it's all about bills to pay. And Elon reminded me before the program that a lot of associations do a pretty good job paying the operating bills. That's because they get an invoice, and after receiving that invoice, they just pay that bill. It's pretty much something they expect. Now, in the last year or two, insurance bills have gone up, and so that causes a struggle. But still, most associations do a pretty good job with the operating bills. The place where they're not succeeding is reserves, and that's because they've got this idea that, why should I care? You see this picture of this older gentleman here talking about, why should I set aside reserve funding? At my age, I live in the present. I don't even buy green bananas. And that's this idea that reserve funding is for the future. And it's not really. Everything is deteriorating on an ongoing basis. And there's that deterioration bill that is best and wisest for associations to pay on an ongoing basis. That's reserve funding. And if associations pay reserve funding along the way, offsetting ongoing deterioration, when they get to the future, everything's going to be okay. So in this situation where the board's legally responsible to take care of the association, and the association is just deteriorating every day, every week, every month, every year, what's a person to do? Well, we certainly hope they just don't sit around, twiddle their fingers or sit on their hands and say we're doomed, because there's a better alternative. That better alternative is to go get help. And that's what we do here in the reserve study industry. We have gone up and down this path, more deterioration, less deterioration, different associations, types, gone up and down this path many times, literally thousands of times with our clients, pointing out the direction forward, helping our clients stay on the trail and get safely and successfully to the future. So it's that idea I want to reinforce here, that our clients usually do a pretty good job of paying those operating account bills, where they get invoices. Where they struggle and where the problem is, and we'll illustrate this with some cases in just a moment, the problem is usually the associations where they ignore or underestimate those costs of ongoing deterioration. And the quick hint, the early score here, is that reserve funding is often 25% of total budget. That's just, if anyone was to ask me on the street, what do you do? I say, well, I recommend associations set aside about a quarter of their budget towards reserves. That'll help them have enough money to pay for roofing and painting and asphalt, all those kinds of things. Because if you're not paying that deterioration bill a little bit along the way, over time, someone else in the future will. And that's patently unfair. So many of our clients think that it's a question about collapsing the budgeting funding, keeping it nice and low, making up for it with special assessments and loans. And when you think about that, that's not really a good argument, because the homeowner is going to pay either way. You might as well help them know what the true cost of ownership is at the association and put it into budgeted funding. That way, everyone's paying their fair share. They know what they're up against, and those unwelcome special assessments go away. Okay, so what are we talking about here? This is a profile of reserves percent funded across the country. On the left is the 0 to 30% range, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. The middle is the yellow fair range, and on the right is the green strong range. You can see there's plenty of associations that are in the strong range, plenty of associations that are in the fair range, and it works out to be about 28 to 30% of associations are in this weak range. And why do we care? Well, it's because when you look at risk compared to percent funded, the associations that are experiencing special assessments because they just plain don't have enough money to take care of things, that's all in the weak funded associations. So these are the ones making all the news, and this is what we do as reserve study providers, trying to counsel our association clients, moving them from the weak range into the fair range, and then from the fair range into the strong range. Because you look and you see the risk of special assessments, unexpected surprises is almost zero when you're out in the fair range. And that's what we want. We want our clients to be looking like this, not those deteriorated scenarios, because really it's all a matter of just paying the bills. These are predictable reserve deterioration bills. At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.